Morning. Good morning.
In the repair shop today...
So if I need a more broken surface finish, I'll use dots, and if I need to sort of fill in the gaps a bit more broadly, I'll use brush strokes.
The fine art of painting restoration.
This is you being able to see what the artist did, not what I've done.
I just need to check what metal it is.
And the alchemy of goldsmithing.
Yep, and that's telling me that's likely to be around 9-carat gold.
As Richard restores a memorial brooch that holds precious memories. But first, an immense challenge for leather expert Susie Fletcher. Sue Locke and her daughter Hannah need her help to save a crumbling heirloom that connects them to a trailblazing ancestor.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Really good.
Hello.
Nice to
Hi.
meet you.
And you.
And what have you brought for us today?
You manage? Yeah, thank you.
My word.
This is a midwifery bag that was my grandmother's, who was born at the turn of the century. And she did her nurse training, and then she did midwife training, and she met my grandfather. And he said, you know, eventually asked her to marry him. And in those days, married women had to give up work. She told my grandfather that she would only marry him if he allowed her to carry on working even when they had children. And he said, yes, that's no problem. And presented her on her wedding day with this bag, which had all the equipment, midwife's equipment in it.
That's an incredible wedding present.
So, yeah.
Worth getting married for.
I know. He set her up in her own firm, because in those days, this was before the NHS, my mum and her brother came along and she carried on working. All through the war, all through the air raids. I mean, she used to tell me stories about going into the slums of Liverpool. She'd take newspaper and put the newspaper down and then deliver the babies onto the newspaper.
Gosh.
And obviously brought this bag with all the equipment.
With all the equipment,
Really?
When the NHS started in the late 1940s after the war, she moved over into the NHS and carried on being a midwife well into the mid-60s.
Huge career.
Yes,
long career.
She was incredibly feisty, and she was a suffragette.
Really?
She chained herself to Liverpool Town Hall railings.
Wow.
And it was all supposed to be secret, because in those days, if you're a suffragette, you could lose your job. She took on trade unions, she took on the NHS if she thought that her nurses weren't being treated well. I think that's definitely travelled through the women in our family. My mother was also a nurse, and she was very feisty as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then Hannah is a doctor.
I've been a doctor for about 5 years now, and I'm currently just completing my training to be a GP.
Fantastic.
It's amazing. Yeah. I can see it's all tied together.
Yes, I mean, I can take the tie off, but the lid's completely off. And if we just remove this, you'll see that it
Oh, look at that.
collapses. Yeah.
So this is part of the design, isn't it, that it opens up?
Yes, I think it is. Yes,
Have access.
It opens down so you can put it flat.
I really want to have a look.
Please do. Please do. Yes, please tell us you can do something.
This has definitely been through the wars, hasn't it? And, oh, look at this. How lovely is this? But my word. Yes, this is quite the challenge. If you could only hear my heart.
Do you know what? I haven't seen Susie so worried about a job before, so
Sorry.
I know this is going to challenge her.
I can't make any promises.
No,
I really,
don't
No,
worry.
of course.
really
No.
can't.
Thank you very much.
We all have faith in Susie.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll be in touch. I think.
Thank you, and good luck.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I was very close to my grandmother, because being independent and earning her own income and doing something she loved was really important to her. And that's definitely passed through the generations.
I love my job and it's really amazing. The healthcare side of things is carried on in the family, and I think that's what the bag sort of means to us when we look at it, isn't it? It's the family history and the just amazing, strong women in our family, really.
This is incredibly damaged. The leather itself it's incredibly fragile, along with the fact that this lid is made of fiberboard that, with it getting damp, has distorted. The leather has torn along the back seam, and there are some leather straps here that are missing. I mean, it really does look like a hopeless case, but I'm going to put my whole heart into this. I think what I can do is put the case back how it originally was, straighten it out, make it look as best as I can to where Hannah and her family can continue talking about this amazing lady that inspired all of these nurses in this great family. The first thing I need to do, though, is to start with the fiberboard. And you can see as the moisture's got in there, it's just delaminating everything. What I'm going to do is go in here with some glue and get those boards to all stick together again, and that will give it the strength back, make it nice and tidy, but also is going to help to straighten out this lid.
As Susie considers the huge challenge she faces, outside, a sizable new arrival. Alice Bird from Devon is hoping the masterful touch of art conservator Lucia Scalisi can get a precious painting looking its best again.
Hello.
Hello. This is a big painting.
It is, it's quite heavy.
How exciting. Hello, I'm Lucia.
I'm Alice, hello.
Hi, Alice. This is an amazing painting. What can you tell me about it?
This is a painting by my dad, Robin Ray, from 1949, and he painted it when he was just 21.
It's very competent.
He was at art school when he painted this painting. He would have been at the Ealing College of Art in London.
Right.
And after he went on to the Royal College in London as well.
Fantastic. Did he make his living out of painting?
He did. He was a very, very dedicated painter from a very young age to 90 when he died.
Do you have any particular fond memories of your father?
He was a very quiet person, but my dad had a very funny sense of humour and a wild imagination, I think. And so he was great at telling stories. When I was a child, I used to love bedtimes because he'd tell me these fantastical stories.
How lovely.
He was obsessed with painting, I think you could say. We'd go on very occasional family holidays. I remember him saying to my mother, "How long are we going to be here?" Because he just wanted to go home and carry on with the latest painting.
When did you get this painting? Did your father give it to you, or...?
He did. I was quite young when I got it, a similar age to when he painted it. And I used to take it with me everywhere. It came up to university with me and I hung it on my wall in student halls.
Really?
Which must have looked a bit strange. Everywhere I've moved to, it's come with me. So it's a very, very well-travelled painting.
And do you know who these people are in the painting?
I think they're just, they're fictional people that he's made up. The painting is called The Storyteller. I found out quite recently, because I've got a number of his old sketchbooks, which I found in his studio, which, although he died 2 years ago, is still there in my parents' house.
It's obviously been through some troubled times, hasn't it?
Yes.
There are quite a few holes in the painting and quite a bit of paint loss. What happened?
It got damaged in a move to France. It was packaged into a hire lorry, which then broke down, and it had to be repackaged into a new lorry, and it was pouring with rain. And in the process, the painting got soaked, and you can see where bits of furniture have pierced through the canvas.
No.
I'd just like to see it as it should have been before I got it damaged. I just feel enormously proud of him, and I miss him when I look at it, actually. I really do miss him.
Alice, I'm really excited about this. It's such a beautiful painting. I can't wait to get started.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing it in.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, see you soon.
Bye-bye. The painting has a great deal of meaning for me because my father was a huge source of inspiration in my life. I'm just so pleased that it's being, nursed back to health.
I'm thrilled to be working on this painting. For someone to have painted this when they were 21, it's really quite accomplished. At the moment, I'm consolidating, so I'm working on this extensive flaking. I'm using a synthetic adhesive, and I will use my heated spatula, and the tissue will then hold the paint in place. And then after that's happened, I can actually start thinking about cleaning it. It is quite a sombre palette, so it's always going to be a dark painting, but I am anticipating it being better to read once I've finished retouching, and also I'll varnish it, so that will make all the colours sort of zing again. Alice wants to hang this again, and it's really special that her dad gave her this painting. So yeah, I want to do a really good job for her, revisit all those memories.
As Lucia continues to consolidate the flaking paint, Susie has finished her efforts on the crumbling leather of the midwife's bag.
That has actually turned out so much nicer than I was expecting. You can see how it's become very flat, and it actually feels so much stronger. So the rest of the rebuild of this lid is going to be quite extensive. This is the end that's actually attached to the main body of the bag, and it has torn off. I need to start by gluing the strip of attaching leather in place, and then I can sew that in position. Now I've got all the various pieces of leather that I'm going to use in repairing this lid. I just need to start gluing them in place, and then I can sew them permanently. I've now got to repair the actual body of the nurse's bag, and I love this design. It's so clever. What we have going on here is this front piece folds down, and it allows this tray to come out, and this is where all those implements would go, and tools. These metal brackets secure this front like so, and then there are these straps with press studs on which hold the whole thing together. So it's a really simple little design, but it's lost all the leather that's covering it, and the little tabs have actually broken. Here, where the tray opens and closes, this leather has become really weak and cracked. What I need to do is run strips of leather along this weakened area. I just need to start by gluing everything into position. When I think about Mary, Sue's grandmother, coming into this line of work when women weren't necessarily supported in their choices and had to really battle to be respected. If it wasn't for people like Mary, it makes you wonder where we'd be today. Right, let's get sewing. Now I've got all those reinforcing strips sewn in place, this box already feels so much stronger. What I need to do now is replace these connecting straps on the side that actually hold this whole folding tray in place once it's presented back to the body. I'm just going to use the rotary punch. This is one of my favourite tools. This rotary punch, you can just turn it around to get the right size hole that you need and punch through like so. There we go, perfect. So now I've got that in position, I need to make the strap that's going to connect into that. Great. Now I'm going to be attaching the lid back to the main body. This strip of leather that I had sewed back onto the lid is what's going to attach it back into place. Because this is going to be open and closed regularly, I'm going to run these tacks along. That's going to give it that extra bond and stay solid for years to come.
The next hopeful arrivals are Cheryl Sanford and her daughter Dawn from Lancashire. They've brought a precious family keepsake for the Midas touch of jeweller Richard Tallman.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing well, thank you.
What have you brought in for us?
This belonged to my nanny, Margaret.
Okay.
Could be a brooch or it could be a necklace. I think originally it was both.
Right.
And this is her brother, Billy, and she would always get it out and she would show me, show people, talk about him a lot.
When was this picture taken?
We think at the outbreak of war.
Right.
It seems it's a military photograph.
So this is him all done up in his uniform?
Yeah.
How old was he when he went to war?
About 17 or 18.
That's young, isn't it?
It is young.
Did she have a close relationship with her brother?
She did. She had 8 brothers, but Billy was particularly special to her, definitely.
What happened to Billy?
Well, he was injured in France in the First World War.
Right.
And he was literally sent home to die. He couldn't have been more than 20 when he died.
It's tragic.
It was tragic.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that she'd then put his photograph in, and I'm also guessing she would have taken a lock of his hair because that was a custom those days. And there it's remained for 100 years.
So when did she give you the brooch?
Oh, it was about 1970. So she said, you have it now and look after it.
And what would you like to be, what do you want doing to it?
Well, it needs obviously a back on it. It needs glass. This is a little bit bent. If I had a choice, I would wear it more as a necklace.
Right, OK, so you want to follow in your nan's footsteps and wear it as that necklace?
Yes.
Can I take a look?
Of course.
Lovely. There is certainly seen better days. The edge, the beveled edge that would have held the glass in, that's all been quite heavily distorted. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that had been trodden on. I like a challenge.
Good.
What do you think of the brooch, Dawn?
Oh, it would be lovely to see the piece repaired to how it would have been seen originally 100 years ago. It's about keeping those memories alive. And we're all a very, very close family, so it'd be lovely for that to tie all that together and keep those links.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it in, and I can't wait to see what Richard does with this one.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right?
It's in safe hands.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
The brooch is special to me because it belonged to my nanny, and it would be lovely to have it restored so it would be in the condition that she wore it. It would bring her closer to me.
I think it would be a lovely link to the family and the times that have passed. It would mean an awful lot to my mum, and then, of course, me, and then eventually maybe my daughter.
It really is in a bit of a sorry state. It's bent in just about every angle. I'm going to have to cut a new back plate out, make a new pin and a hinge, and I'm going to have to try and make up some kind of bracket on the back so it can be worn as both a brooch and a pendant. It's going to be tricky. But before I do any work, I just need to check what metal it is, and doing that, I'm going to take a little bit of nitric acid. You just put a tiny, tiny little drop onto it like so. Oh, I'm hoping to see there's a little brown stain. Yep, and that's telling me that's likely to be around 9 carat gold. It's important to ensure that all the other components that I make to go with this is the same metal. So now I know what to get.
Art conservator Lucia is preparing to mend the jagged holes in the 70-year-old canvas of the painting passed down from an artist to his daughter.
I'm putting the nylon gossamer patches on the back of the tears. I make this myself. So it looks like a bit of a sticking plaster, but it's with special materials. And the heat seal adhesive bonds to the actual canvas, but the nylon gossamer stays as a whole. And it's proven to be very effective, and not only that, in years to come it's readily reversible because of the heat seal adhesive, which is a special conservation adhesive. That's the last one on. It's not going anywhere. So now I can actually lift the painting up, and you'll see the tissue on the front that's holding all the flaking. I hope. That looks great. I'm really pleased with how this has gone. So we're just about ready to start cleaning. I'm using water with a couple of drops of ammonia in it just to break the surface tension, so it's the water that's doing all the work. Robin's technique is pretty competent. I mean, these trees up in this corner in particular, the way that they've been painted is really special. I can see why he would have been selected to go to the Royal College of Art. I'm just going to finish this and check the surface, and then I'll be ready to put the first coat of varnish on. This varnish coating will saturate the image so you'll be able to see it more clearly, but it provides the first isolating layer between the actual original painting and then any subsequent work I'm going to do. So I'll wait for this to dry, and then I'll be able to start the filling and the retouching. I like varnishing. I do like varnishing. I'm at the filling stage. It's quite an exciting stage to be at, and it makes the painting look a bit of a mess whilst you're doing it, but it's essential and it's very worthwhile. I'm literally putting it on very, very thinly and allowing the canvas weave to show through, because I want that to be part of the paint texture when I do the retouching. So I've got quite a lot to do. They're scattered across the surface, but it's very satisfying to start seeing the form come together, all ready for the retouching.
It's been one of the toughest challenges leather expert Susie has ever faced. But after hours of hard labour, the midwife's bag is taking shape.
I'm now starting to tidy up the main body, and these back corners have been very damaged over the years, banging up against things. So I've just put some matching leather caps on here that will disguise all of that damage. Then where the sides come together here, the leather has been damaged and worn away. So what I've started doing is fill where we've got a bit of a void here with some of this leather fill. I do like to make every effort to get it as near perfect as possible. I feel that it's just going to add a finishing touch.
This bag accompanied its courageous owner as she delivered hundreds of babies throughout the Second World War and beyond, inspiring generations of her family, including great-granddaughter Hannah, a doctor, along with her mum, Sue.
Since we dropped the bag off, I've been able to spend some time thinking about my great-grandma, and even though I never met her, I've heard these amazing stories.
We've been remembering stories that my grandmother used to tell us about when she was a midwife before the NHS.
I'm a bit apprehensive in a way because it was such in poor condition, so if Susie's been able to do anything positive to it, I'll be just over the moon, really.
Very excited.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see
you again.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you. Nervous and excited.
You nervous as well?
Yeah, we want to know whether you've been able to do anything with it.
I have to be perfectly honest with you here that it's probably the worst bag I've ever had to work on. However, the story of your great-grandmother and the legacy that you're going to carry on with really made me do the very best that I could. And hopefully you are happy with what I've been able to do.
Whatever it looks like, we're very grateful.
You want to show them, Susie?
Are you ready?
Yes. Yeah, go on. Come on,
Right,
please.
here we go.
Oh my goodness. That is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. That's probably not far off what it looked like.
Oh my goodness me. I can't believe it. I actually cannot believe it. How have you done that?
Oh my goodness, Hannah. Just...
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh my goodness me. I can't believe that.
Oh, wow.
That is, I think, the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
I completely agree.
I just, well, from what it was,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm speechless. There are no words really to describe the difference and also, you know, what it means really and how, just what a difference it'll mean to my practice, to be able to see my patients in the surgery with my bag and explain, you know, the history of it.
I'm very, very relieved.
Well,
absolutely amazing.
You've worked a miracle with it.
You really have. This is the best medicine I've ever seen.
and see your reaction is just everything.
Thank you for bringing it in and giving Susie such a challenge to work on.
Yes, yeah.
It's yours?
Yep.
Thank you.
Right,
So I'll be
Hannah?
super careful with it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Got it carefully.
Careful. See,
Careful.
That's what you want to hear.
That's great, yeah.
She has put it back together and it looks like it would have looked nearly 100 years ago. So it was incredibly emotional.
Just seeing it and what Susie's been able to achieve, it was just complete shock. And just absolutely incredible. Lost for words, to be honest. It looks amazing, it feels amazing, and it's just such a beautiful piece, absolutely incredible. Yeah, we're very proud and we're very, very grateful and happy.
Goldsmith Richard has begun work on the mangled First World War brooch.
Now, It's the critical part, trying to straighten up this edge. And just taking a pair of half-round pliers and just slowly kind of bend outer part of this frame out. We've just got to go around doing this very, very gently, very carefully. Don't want to stretch it in any other points, otherwise the chances of getting a glass back in it is going to be slim. Good thing about working with gold is it's quite malleable. So I've managed to get the oval shape back on this brooch now. Now I've just got to mark the oval shape on a sheet of 9-carat gold. And I'm going to cut that out, and that's going to be used at the back to hold the hair and the photograph in safe. That fits in there like a glove. I'm happy with that. Hi, Will.
Hey, Richard. What's up?
Got this brooch that we're doing for Cheryl, and it's going to be turned into a pendant, so I fancy a nice little bit of wood to hang it on to present to her.
Lovely. That sounds
you can
great.
do for us?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No worries.
I've made a new pin that locks in like so, and then we just put another pin through the middle of the hinge, and now that is a working pin. So this is the piece of glass that I've had cut specifically to size. And the next job is going to be to get some glue around this edge using a specially designed adhesive here. It's got like a very, very fine needle on the tip, so we can actually dispense the most tiniest amount all the way around the rim. Very, very delicate work. You can forget to breathe a lot of the time. Here goes. I really, really don't want to have to pull this out again, so I've really got to get it in perfect first time. There we go. Before I put the hair and the photo in, I need to make the adaptation to turn this brooch into a pendant. Brooches that adapt themselves into pendants, it was quite popular, but usually there would be a little swivel point at the top where the bail would affix to. There isn't anything like that on this brooch. I don't think I've done one of them for quite some years. I'm going to start by taking a small piece of gold tube. The pin will slide through, and off of that piece of tubing I'm going to have a frame which is going to attach to a small hoop at the top where the chain will pass through, and hopefully it will work. Let's give that a cut. At the moment, this gold's black because it's oxidised. As soon as that's put in the acid to clean it up, it will return to the gold colour. Now that frame is going to fit up onto the back.
The painting by accomplished artist and much-missed father has had its torn canvas repaired and filled, and Lucia has made a start repainting the lost areas of colour.
I'm wearing a glove for this bit. There's a lot of reflection, surface reflection, because of the varnish. The glove just takes off the reflection of my skin tone. There are lots of different ways of retouching, lots of different techniques. So if I need a more broken surface finish, I'll use dots, and if I need to sort of fill in the gaps a bit more broadly, I'll use brush strokes. It's lovely to be able to see how the artists work. When you're this close, you can really see what they were doing and what they were thinking of, and I'm trying to mimic what he's done. This is you being able to see what the artist did, not what I've done.
Artist Robin Ray was just 21 years old when he created this work, before attending the prestigious Royal College of Art. To his daughter Alice, it's a reminder of a beloved father and his lifelong passion.
Since my dad died, I haven't really talked about him at all, but I have been thinking about him a lot more since I left the painting. I've felt able to talk about him and think about him and tell my children about him in a way that I didn't really before. It's been very cathartic, I suppose. Hello.
Hi, Alice.
Hi.
It's so great to see you.
And you. My gosh, it looks enormous.
Are you excited?
I'm genuinely excited.
Yeah. This painting's been everywhere with you, sort of most of your life, really, hasn't it?
Yes. It's just a huge reminder of who my dad was and what he did and his dedication to painting. It's going to be amazing to have it back not broken.
Let's see what you think.
Oh, gosh, it's amazing. Oh, it looks beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful. It looks new. It was so dirty and flaky, you couldn't really see all of the detail before. And all the holes have gone. I can't believe you can't even see where they were. That's amazing, thank you. Really, thank you so much.
It's seriously a very good painting. And I think for a 21-year-old to have created this, it's a remarkable job. It really is, and I think you're very lucky to have this in your collection,
Yeah,
and also
so
to
do
have
I.
a father that was an artist.
Yeah, so do I. It makes you realise he's a really important role model for me and my children, because these paintings will be passed down through to his ancestors. It'll definitely bring gasps of amazement when it goes up, finally goes up in the house.
Yeah. OK, well, leave it with me, and we'll get this to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All
Thanks.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Just feel completely elated, actually. Just so pleased to have it mended, because I've always felt so bad about getting it damaged. And now it's just as if it's just come out of the studio, so it's really brought the 21-year-old Robin Ray back to life. It's amazing, yeah.
Having designed a bespoke gold frame to convert the First World War brooch into a pendant, Richard is now ready to rebuild the keepsake.
And the first one that's going to go in is the photo. It's just going into the hollow of the brooch, right up against the glass. Second is the hair, as gently as possible. But what I'm hoping will make Cheryl extra pleased with this repair is the addition of this frame. And that just hooks over the back, like so. Becomes a pendant. I think she's going to be happy with this.
This family heirloom was showing its 100 years of age, twisted and tarnished, and no longer a fitting memorial. Accompanied by daughter Dawn, Cheryl is hoping to keep the family tradition alive by wearing it once again.
This brooch means a lot to me because it belonged to my nanny. It contains a photograph of her brother Billy, who was killed in the First World War. So it would also obviously bring his memory alive again.
That's what she would have wanted.
That's what she would have wanted. Right.
There they are. Welcome back.
Thank
Hi.
you.
Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Dawn.
Hiya.
You look really excited.
We are
I'm really
excited.
excited.
We are excited.
You were very close to your nanny.
I was.
So it means quite a lot to you to have this in the family still.
Of course it does. Wherever she went, I went too.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Deep breath.
Deep breath. It's like, oh, wow. It looks so much better.
That's so shiny.
It is shiny. That is gorgeous. And a pendant.
And a brooch.
And a brooch. We never thought we'd see it.
Not
ever.
like that, no.
Ever.
No.
As much as anything, rather than just for me, or Dawn, it's for her, it's for my nana, for Margaret, because that's how she would have remembered it, and that's how she would have worn it.
I can't believe what you've done to that. That is incredible.
Incredible, yeah.
Thank you, Dawn.
Oh.
I know how much this means to you, so when you're not wearing it, I've actually made you a display board.
That's amazing.
That's wonderful, isn't it? More to be treasured.
No, I think it's about time you put on the necklace.
Oh, do you think?
I think so.
There we go.
It's gorgeous.
It's absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
It's just beautiful.
It's always a pleasure to restore things that mean so much to people. Gerald, Dawn, thank you very much for bringing it in.
Thank you so much. We're so grateful and so happy, aren't we?
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Safe journey home.
Thank you.
Just to see it all now done and wearable like that is just amazing.
I do feel very proud to wear it. We both will be. Passed down the generations, just like Nanny Margaret would have wanted.